Just because of one sentence, Tom Hanks decided to step into the role of director and create the first film of his career. But that was only the beginning. One actor almost lost his role just a few days before filming began. A song written for the film became a real-life hit, and many more unbelievable behind-the-scenes stories are waiting for you ahead. Today, let's explore 20 facts about That Thing You Do that you have probably never heard before. Are you ready to discover them? Leave a like to support the channel, and let's get started. Number 20. It turns out that before filming began, no one in the band was a skilled musician. Except for Steve Zahn and Ethan Embry, who had some experience playing guitar and bass guitar as teenagers, the rest of the cast was starting almost from scratch. Everett Scott had never touched a drum kit, and Jonathan Shaich did not know how to play the guitar at all. To prepare for their roles, the group went through 6 weeks of intense training, practicing up to 5 hours a day. Their hard work paid off. By the end of the training, they performed so convincingly that even the extras on set believed the band was playing live. In reality, they were all performing to pre-recorded tracks played by professional musicians. Everett Scott stood out by matching every drum beat with remarkable accuracy throughout the film. Later, he joked that the entire cast had listened to the same song so many times that they were more tired of it than anyone else. Number 19. Tom Hanks wrote the screenplay while all of Hollywood was watching Forrest Gump. During filming in South Carolina, Tom Hanks began writing his screenplay with an 11-page draft that he said he finished very quickly. After Forrest Gump wrapped, he had almost no time to rest. Tom immediately began the promotional campaign for Philadelphia, followed by 6 months of promoting Forrest Gump. During that incredibly busy period, instead of taking a break, he started writing the screenplay for the first film he would direct because he wanted to take his mind off the Oscar race and the box office. He wrote in hotel rooms, on long flights, and whenever he had free time, then gave each draft to his wife to read. She joked that he worked as tirelessly as Scorsese. Even though the early drafts were still quite messy, Tom kept revising them little by little, and by the time the promotional tour ended, the screenplay for That Thing You Do was finished.
And you look good, and you guys look great in red. Have I told you that yet?
Number 18. Tom Hanks was the person who wrote the opening song, Loving You Lots and Lots of Self. The song is credited to the fictional group Norm Wooster Singers, which Hanks himself also created. The song is a satire of the easy listening genre, played on AM radio in the early 1960s, inspired by Ray Conniff and Mitch Miller. Adult radio stations such as KPOL in Los Angeles often played songs with a similar style. So this song became a very fitting tribute to the setting of that era. Hanks was also the person who wrote Guy's energetic jazz drum solo titled I'm Spartacus. That means that just 2 years after winning the Academy Award for Best Actor for the second time for Forrest Gump, he composed 2 songs himself for the first film he directed. What is worth noting is that Tom Hanks never saw it as something he needed to boast about. He simply quietly allowed the music to become a natural part of the story he wanted to tell. Number 17. A piece of advice from Sean Penn changed Tom Hanks' career. On a Halloween night in the 1990s, Tom Hanks joined in Sean Penn, Robin Wright, and Arnold Schwarzenegger as they took their children trick-or-treating in Washington, D.C. While they were walking and talking, Sean Penn told Hanks that every actor should try directing at least once to truly understand how difficult the job is. Penn had just finished The Indian Runner at the time, and his advice made Hanks think seriously about it. 2 years later, during the promotional tour for Forrest Gump, Hanks began writing the screenplay for That Thing You Do. The film later became the first movie he directed, opening an entirely new chapter in his career. Perhaps even Sean Penn never imagined that one casual remark on that Halloween night would become the inspiration for Tom Hanks to step into the role of director. From then on, he was known not only as a 2-time Academy Award-winning actor, but also as a talented filmmaker. Number 16. The competition to find the theme song for That Thing You Do was incredibly intense. More than 300 songs were submitted, and one stood out above all the rest. Adam Schlesinger, a 28-year-old bass guitarist, entered the competition as a challenge to himself. When he learned that Tom Hanks was looking for a Beatles-style song for the film, he spent several days writing 3 different versions before recording a demo and sending it in. Adam's song beat every other submission and amazed everyone. When the band and the producers listened to the final recordings, each song had its own distinct style. One sounded like The Who, another sounded like Led Zeppelin, but Adam's song was considered something special from the very beginning. Ethan Embry said the moment was so exciting that just thinking about it still made him want to clap his hands together. The song was later nominated for both an Academy Award and a Golden Globe. Sadly, Adam Schlesinger passed away from COVID-19 in 2020 at the age of 52, but the musical legacy he left behind lives on. Number 15. Ethan Embry had one of the craziest experiences on the set. During filming, a lizard named Salvador suddenly became ill. Always willing to try anything to help, Ethan Embry gave the animal mouth-to-mouth resuscitation in the hope of saving it. But just a few hours later, he came down with a severe case of dysentery. The situation became so bad that the crew laid sheets of cardboard from his trailer all the way to the bathroom so he could walk back and forth to shower. To make matters even more ironic, when it happened, Embry was still wearing his character's red costume pants, and the outcome was exactly what he had hoped would not happen. Costume designer Colleen Atwood, who later won 4 Academy Awards, jokingly said that Embry was not the first actor to have such a memorable accident while still wearing a full costume on set. Number 14. Bryan Cranston had a blink and you will miss it role in Tom Hanks's film. During the Hollywood television show Scene, Bryan Cranston makes a brief appearance as Lieutenant Colonel Virgil Gus Grissom, the astronaut known as the second American to fly into space. In 1996, Cranston was still a hard-working television actor, familiar to audiences from shows such as Seinfeld, where he played the dentist Dr. Tim Whatley. His brief role in That Thing You Do attracted very little attention at the time, but Tom Hanks had already seen his potential. 2 years later, in 1998, Hanks cast Cranston again, this time as Buzz Aldrin in the HBO miniseries From the Earth to the Moon. Years later, Bryan Cranston became a worldwide star for his role as Walter White, also known as Mr. White in Breaking Bad. Interestingly, Tom Hanks also played a character named Mr. White in That Thing You Do, creating a small but fascinating coincidence for fans. Number 13. Charlize Theron's Hollywood story began in a very unusual way. In 1994, at just 18 years old, she still dreamed of becoming a dancer. But that dream came to an end after a knee injury. While visiting a bank in Hollywood to cash a check from her account in South Africa, the bank teller refused to help her. Frustrated and desperate, Charlize lost her temper, and at that very moment, talent manager John Crosby was standing in line right behind her. After witnessing Charlize's outburst, he handed her his business card and said, "I don't know what you do for a living, but if you are interested in acting, here's my card." In 1996, Theron auditioned for That Thing You Do and quickly caught Tom Hanks' attention. After watching her audition, he believed she had everything it took to become a star. Hanks even wrote in her personal copy of the screenplay, "No matter what happens, I will always say that I was the one who discovered you." Time would later prove that his judgment was absolutely right when Charlize Theron won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance in Monster.
Liar! I caught you! Admit it! We were all waiting for you!
Number 12. Steve Zahn had no idea that his life was about to change. His manager simply told him to drive into the city to read a screenplay and even gave him a fake name for the screenwriter. Steve thought it was just an unknown project, so he agreed to do it and showed up at the script reading with no special expectations. But the moment he walked into the room, he was stunned to see Tom Hanks sitting there. Hanks was immediately won over by Steve's performance and later said that he delivered a performance for the ages that had him laughing out loud. Steve handled every line naturally, mastered every comedic moment, and brought the character to life with remarkable charm. The casting director also had complete confidence in him because she had previously seen Steve perform alongside Ethan Hawke in a stage play and knew he was the perfect choice for the role of Lenny. That day, Steve Zahn officially won the role of Lenny before he even realized that he had just auditioned for a Tom Hanks film.
What, are you crazy? A man in a really nice camper wants to put our song on the radio. Give me a pen, I'm signing, you're signing, we're all signing.
Number 11, a fictional song became a real-life hit. At first, Jimmy taught the band the song as a slow ballad in the garage. But during the talent show, Guy turned it into a fun, high-energy rock song. After that, the band went on to perform the song at a place similar to a local county fair, on a major television show in Hollywood, and even in a less successful performance in Pittsburgh. Adam Schlesinger, who wrote the song, faced a challenge that was anything but easy. He needed to write a song that captured the sound of 1964 while also appealing to audiences in the 1990s. When grunge music was beginning to lose its popularity. And with his talent, he succeeded. The song not only became a success in the film, but also became a real-life hit, making its way onto the Billboard charts and even reaching number 1 on the Hot 100. The song also climbed to number 22 on the Adult Contemporary chart. It was a remarkable achievement for a brand new song that was written in the style of the Beatles. Number 10. The names of the characters in this film all contain interesting hidden meanings. Tom Hanks cleverly included tributes to 2 of his greatest passions, music and space exploration. The character James Jimmy Mattingly was named after Ken Mattingly, the astronaut from the Apollo 13 mission. Ken was originally assigned to the flight but was later removed from the mission because of possible exposure to rubella, also known as German measles, even though he never actually came down with the illness. Meanwhile, Lenny Hayes was named after Fred Hayes, the lunar module pilot on Apollo 13. Hanks also included himself in this tribute. His character, Amos White, was named after Andy White, the drummer who played in place of Ringo Starr on the Beatles' recording of Love Me Do. In addition, he hid many other Easter eggs throughout the film for fans to discover. The television show featured in the film also includes a character named Gus Grissom, another reference to a famous astronaut from the Apollo program. The character is played by Bryan Cranston, an actor whom audiences would later come to know through many other famous roles. Number 9. For this film, Tom Hanks decided not to use famous songs from the Beatles era. The first reason was that licensing those well-known hit songs would have cost an enormous amount of money and significantly increased the production budget. The second reason was that he had just finished Forrest Gump, a film that was already closely associated with a long list of iconic songs from several decades. Because of that, Hanks wanted to do something completely different this time. Instead of relying on famous songs to create a sense of nostalgia, he decided that every song in the film would be an entirely original composition. As a result, even though That Thing You Do is set in 1964, every song still feels authentic, like a real hit from that era. This bold decision paid off when the soundtrack album later reached number 21 on the Billboard 200 chart. Number 8. 3 members of the Hanks family appear in this film. Colin, who was only 18 years old at the time, made his film debut as an NBC page. He escorts Faye, played by Liv Tyler, to her seat during the television show, and fans get to see even more of his character in the extended edition released in 2007. Elizabeth, Tom Hanks' daughter with his first wife, also makes a small cameo appearance. She appears as the girl in the dress shop. Tom's wife, Rita Wilson, also has a memorable role as Marguerite, the cocktail waitress at the Blue Spot Jazz Club, where Guy meets the famous musician Del Paxton. Colin Hanks later went on to build a successful acting career with roles in Orange County, Roswell, Dexter, Fargo, and Life in Pieces. His appearance in his father's film was the very first milestone that began that journey. Number 7. The bass player in the film is a very mysterious character. He has no first name, last name, or nickname. Lenny jokingly calls him Tobias, but even that is just a name made up on the spot. This is a detail the filmmakers intentionally included to suggest that bass players in one-hit wonder bands are often seen as people who can be replaced at any time. In the official credits, the character is listed only as TB player, meaning bass player. Even the fictional liner notes in the soundtrack album use only that name. Ethan Embry, who played the role, finished filming on a Friday. Just 2 days later, he stepped straight into a completely different role as Rusty Griswold in National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation. Ethan went from playing an anonymous musician without even a name to portraying Rusty Griswold, the famous teenage son of the Griswold family. It was a completely opposite career move in the space of just 2 days.
Hey, Uncle Bob, when are we gonna get these records?
Luke 21:19.
And your patients possess ye your souls.
Number 6, Tom Everett Scott almost lost the leading role in the first film directed by Tom Hanks. At first, Hanks was quite hesitant because Scott looked too much like a younger version of himself. He worried that it would distract audiences from the story and make them focus only on the resemblance between the two of them. However, after watching Scott's audition tape, his wife was deeply impressed and told Hanks that Scott was the right person for the role. Scott had always admired Hanks and grew up watching his movies and television shows. During his audition, he said that he truly connected with the character because it felt like a version of himself, except that this version pursued music instead of acting. That sincerity convinced Hanks, and he later personally called Scott to offer him the role. Scott said it was one of the greatest moments of his life.
I can't hire him because he looks too much like me. And she says, well, he doesn't look that much like you. And besides that, he's really good. So then I went back and looked at it again.
Number 5. 2 years after this film was released, Tom Hanks and his producing partner, Gary Goetzman, turned Playtone Records from fiction into reality. In 1998, Tom Hanks and Gary Goetzman officially founded the production company and record label Playtone. The name was taken from Playtone Records, the fictional record label featured in That Thing You Do. What began as a detail that existed only on screen became a real company and quickly achieved great success. Playtone went on to produce well-known projects such as From the Earth to the Moon, Band of Brothers, and The Polar Express. The company also produced popular films such as My Big Fat Greek Wedding and Charlie Wilson's War. Television series including Big Love and The Pacific also bear the Playtone name. In addition, Playtone produced soundtrack albums for The Sopranos and Bring It On, turning a name that once existed only in a movie into a successful real-world brand. Number 4. Jonathan Demme played an important role in the film. After finishing the screenplay, Tom Hanks approached Jonathan Demme and invited him to join the project as a producer, thanks to the working relationship they had built while making Philadelphia. Demme later joined the production alongside Gary Goetzman and Edward Saxon, and he also made an interesting cameo appearance in the film. He appears as the director of the cheesy beach movie Weekend at Party Pier, where the band The Wonders also appears. Interestingly, Demme did not come alone. He also brought along several of his talented collaborators. Tak Fujimoto, who had served as cinematographer on The Silence of the Lambs and The Sixth Sense, took on the role of director of photography. Meanwhile, the film was edited by Richard Chew, who had previously worked on Star Wars and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Even though this was Tom Hanks' first time directing a feature film, he had an experienced and world-class filmmaking team behind him. The contributions of these top talents helped That Thing You Do achieve the quality of a major studio film while still maintaining its warmth and modest charm.
Now look out at the ocean. You see the parachute coming down now. It's billowing out. That girl hanging from the parachute? Say the line.
Number 3. When Tom Hanks released the extended edition in 2007, fans were genuinely surprised. This version runs about 39 minutes longer than the original. Although it is not the director's final cut, it still adds many important scenes that help viewers better understand the characters in the story. One of the most notable additions reveals that Mr. White, played by Tom Hanks, is gay and has a partner named Lloyd, played by Howie Long. In this scene, Guy returns to the hotel after a night of heavy drinking and finds Mr. White and Lloyd sitting together, waiting for news about the band's performance. That detail offers a completely new perspective on Mr. White, something audiences never learned in the original version. Howie Long's role as Lloyd does not appear in the theatrical release and was added only in the extended edition released on home video. Interestingly, Tom Hanks hardly promoted this version at all, so even many years later, it remains a secret that many fans have never known. Number 2. The Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles was famous for welcoming many well-known figures. It was also the place where Senator Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated. The hotel closed in 1989 and was still vacant when That Thing You Do began filming in 1996. By that time, it was mainly being used as a filming location. Scenes such as the band arriving after their song entered the charts, the fans talking in the hallways, and Jimmy leaving the band in the hotel lobby were all filmed there. In 2005, the hotel was demolished and replaced by the Robert F. Kennedy Community Schools. Another famous location featured in the film is the stage of The Price is Right. This is where the crew filmed the Hollywood television showcase scenes, and the band The Wonders performed on the same stage that had long been associated with the famous game show. The film therefore preserved the image of two iconic Los Angeles landmarks. One still exists today, while the other survives only through these scenes on film. Number 1. At first, this film was a major disappointment for Hollywood. The film earned only $25.8 million in the United States and $8.7 million internationally, for a worldwide total of about $34.6 million, falling well short of expectations. Despite having a strong cast and receiving a major promotional campaign, the film was still considered a commercial failure. Many people believe that one of the reasons was that Tom Hanks chose to direct the film instead of starring in it. At the time, everything seemed bleak, and the film appeared destined to fade into obscurity. But then, in the late 1990s, VH1 unexpectedly aired the film continuously for 24 hours. From that point on, more and more viewers began discovering and embracing it. One of the cast members later said that the film had an extraordinary staying power, and thanks to DVD and cable television, That Thing You Do gradually became a beloved cult film with a devoted fan base. As the years passed, the love for the film continued to grow. So we have just explored 20 facts about That Thing You Do, 1996. Which facts surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy weird facts videos and fascinating behind-the-scenes stories about classic Hollywood films, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Your support is what motivates us to keep bringing you more exciting content. We wish you good health, and we'll see you in the next video.